What is up, guys? This is Lenthio coming to the card discussion today about something that's going to be coming out in the next set, and it is called Vector Pendulum, the Dracoruler. Now, this card's really cool, and I think it's going to go under the radar, and it isn't going to be viable right now, but I think in the future it could very well be a very key card to go against Pendulum decks. So it is a Pendulum, as you would expect, scale 3 level 4 Dark Dragon, normal monster. It doesn't look like a dragon, but nevertheless. The Pendulum effect, because obviously it's a normal, so it doesn't have a normal effect. Pendulum effect is negates all effects in your opponent's Pendulum zones. So I don't know about you, but that's pretty good. Having a skill drain-like effect for your opponent's Pendulum zones is pretty good. Now, if we immediately look at the meta we have right now, and possible decks that could really run against this is Kleefort, obviously, because Klee's you can stop that scout and such, and it makes them a little bit more difficult, but doesn't completely stop them. Then Magicians, you know, with some of their effects in the Pendulum Zone. Eccentric Archfiend as well. You can't get that MST pop from Eccentric Archfiend, but it's not really that amazing against the decks right now, but I think this card is something that you should really keep an eye on. If it's especially like a low rarity or something easy to get, I would recommend picking it up, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a couple of them. Basically, just going to sit on it. If it does become relevant, then excellent. I've already got them, and maybe sell a couple more for some profit. If it doesn't become relevant, then hopefully I won't have spent too much on it. It will just be one of those things. I think it's something that, again, is just one of these cards that can only print and say, hey, this could be a good one. Just keep an eye on it. And I think if you think back at how many different old school cards that are printed and then viable sets and sets and sets ahead, I think this is a prime example of one of them that could be really useful for you to get. It could technically be used in the vanilla Pendulum deck that isn't really a thing, but there are some pretty cool deck lists flying around, and one of my favourite ones is the Slifer deck that uses all the vanilla Pendulums. That's too cool. And it also can be searched out by one of the vanilla Pendulums that came out, the Dragon of Draconia or something, I think? Dragoons of Draconia, I think it is. And I think that, you know, is just a good example that you can search stuff out, and it is a searchable card. You can search them out with a lot of different cards. Overall, I just think it's something that would be really interesting to see how it would actually be able to affect the meta if the meta did start swinging in that way of a very Pendulum-based deck, with all those Pendulums in those zones having proper effects, like a Scout, that really keeps the deck going, and if you do stop it, then it shuts it down a little. You could say that Wavering Eyes is going to be better than this, but it all depends on the type of deck that you're playing, and this is more of a stun card, as Wavering Eyes is more of an advantage type card anyway. So it kind of depends on what real meta decks come out and what Pendulum decks are actually going to be a thing, so it's definitely one to keep an eye on in my opinion. So that is it, guys. I want to know what you guys think of a Vector Pendulum, the Dracoruler. Do you think it's going to be good, or do you think it's just kind of superseded by things like Wavering Eyes and such? So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.